Well, we have Unit 2C, Test Review Part 4. This is more vocabulary that is also very, very important. You just have to learn these words. Learn these words. If you do not understand what the question is asking, you cannot hope to answer it. A median. What the heck is a median? Wait, let's look in our notes. Median, median. Where is a median? Median, 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 median. What is a median? What is a median? What is a median? What is a median? Do you have your notes? Are you looking for your notes? What is a median? What is a median? A median is a segment between the vertex of a triangle and the midpoint of the opposite side. Median. Between the vertex and a midpoint. Vertex and midpoint. Well, first I have to find the midpoint. How can I find the midpoint of this triangle? Well, let's see. I can measure the length to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 centimeters. Half of 6 centimeters is 3 centimeters. So if I draw in pencil a median from this vertex to that midpoint, it is going to look like this. And if it is a midpoint, then I need to note that by showing this segment and this segment are congruent. Okay. Now, what is an altitude? Altitude, altitude. What is an altitude? An altitude is the perpendicular segment from a vertex to the line of the opposite side. That is always a height. So what we want here is a perpendicular. We want this in blue. If I had an excellent compass with a real sharp point, I would use that and construct a perfect perpendicular. But for this exercise, I think I will simply estimate from here to here. In college geometry, you will have to do these constructions with nothing more than a straight edge and a good compass. So now we have constructed the altitude, which again is the perpendicular segment from a vertex. To the line of the opposite side. Now, why do we say that like that? Because sometimes you have interesting obtuse triangles in which the altitude, one of the altitudes can actually be outside the triangle. Now, a midsegment connects two different angle bisectors. So if we want a midsegment in red, let's see, midsegment. A midsegment connects two midpoints. So we have one midpoint here. I think I will just measure this side. This is one, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 68 millimeters. Half of that is 34, 10, 20, 30, 34. Let's see. I'm just checking that I really did get something close to a midpoint. 10, 20, 30, 4. Okay, I'm happy with that. Now I need my mid-segment to be in red. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, the vocabulary is very important. And you remember we have a mid-segment theorem as well. Finally, we want an angle bisector. Again, with good compasses, we could construct good angle bisectors. However, an angle bisector is simply the ray that divides an angle into two congruent angles. So are we given a definition of an angle bisector? Let's have a look. Angle bisector, angle bisector. Do we have a definition of an angle bisector? Well, I think we do. Are you looking at your notes? Because I'm certainly looking at my notes. Where do we find angle bisector? I think we had angle bisector in the first 6 weeks. We know that bi means two and sector is a piece. So a ray that cuts the angle into two. Alrighty then. We will measure, since we don't have a good compass, we will measure this angle. This angle is 60 degrees. It is not 120, it is less than 90 degrees. We have to be very careful about that. So if this angle is 60 degrees, the angle bisector then would be 30 degrees. I am doing my angle bisector in black as requested. Here is my angle bisector. and I mark that it is the angle bisector. An angle bisector is the ray that divides an angle into two equal, adjacent, congruent, smaller angles. Whew, long problem, but we're done.